Well, hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So, lots has been happening in my life quite recently and lots is still about to happen, but whilst I do have some moments, I did want to discuss some of the news that have happened and I haven't covered. Namely, the updates to the Mysterium Traders Outpost store, as well as the updates to Sigil. And, well, let's first start with the update to Traders Outpost store, where I'm actually kind of happy with them. I didn't expect anything major or massive, but you do take a lot. I love the fact that there are some 7-star Sig stones appearing to it, and because Kabam has been extremely stingy in introducing them, it's a shame that the generic ones cost 9k, but the regular ones, on the other hand, the class ones, the random ones, which you can get 4 of a month, though, but still, I believe it's a month, right? You know, at least it's something. It is something. And, you know, update from 6-star shards to exalted shards. These bundles as well, slight increase in the 7-star shards. Again, it's not a major update, but I do personally find 7-star signature stones to be incredibly valuable resource, provided I'm not spending much money on a game typically. And I love to see them there. Initially, as I was looking through them, I was fairly disappointed, but overall, now that I have had a bit of a time to think about the implications as well as everything else, there's one major thing that I do not like about the update to Mysterium Store, which is what I'm going to discuss now, and that's that if you do want the signature stones, you do not get the tier 6 basics or tier 3 alphas anymore. Now they have doubled these in this bundle effectively, so whenever you buy it, you know, you immediately get several tier 6 basics, tier 3 alphas. But now you're gonna have to make a choice again in between the signature stones, generic or class ones, or kind of like the bottleneck resource, because tier 6 basics and tier 3 alphas are, well, fairly scarce right now. I'm still kind of having a shortage on them. Like, that is the most limiting factor in my rank ups at the moment. Not tier 4 alpha, not tier 6 CC. It's having enough of tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic. And having to choose whether you get the 6 stones, which you kind of have to now, or getting the tier 6 basic tier 3 alphas, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm really not. Overall, it's definitely still better, I'd say, because there are, you know, more current resources in there. But the way I personally view it, it's still the entire Mysterium currency, in my opinion, has been fairly big fail. It could have been something much more exciting, but realistically, again, Kabam never really committed to it. Like, if these bundles had been good, Kabam wouldn't have to stress about the monthly side quest rewards really too much. As long as they gave enough Mysterium and had some reward budget left there, everybody would be fine. But since Kabam never did commit to Mysterium like they did commit to Radiance, I think overall it's kind of hard to argue that the entire currency is unnecessary in the game. In my opinion, generally, the Mysterium is one of those things that just clutters the game and there was no real need for it. They could have easily kept these rewards or this reward budget in the side events by adding like a selector in it, and we could like choose in between the resource types that we're most interested in, because like that's the one advantage Mysterium has, right? Where we can choose whether we get relic stuff or we get shards or we get some, you know, resources. But they could easily do that with the selector at any monthly event. And yeah, having Mysterium as a currency, I just don't think it's a good currency. It was never particularly desired currency. It has never been significantly impactful to the game, and the reason for it is because Kabam kind of went in half-cocked. They never fully committed to Mysterium like they have with Radiance, where Radiance effectively replaces the rewards budget, and then you pick and choose what you buy with it, because there's still rewards and the milestones and the objectives of every and any side event. And this is just another thing type thing. So yeah, it's better, I guess, a little bit, but is it like exciting? Absolutely not. And then there's the Sigil store, which again is not gonna, you know, be relevant to everybody because not everybody has Summoner Sigil. But increase in acquisition from the Sigil credits, I like that. I like that they added that here because incursions artifacts are fairly meaningless currency because you only use them to ever so often open an incursions crystal every couple of months. So, and many people already kind of have all the champions there because Kabam has not updated that. So spending the incursions currency for extra Sigil credits and then spending what has some glory, that's fine too, because the glory store is again not getting updated, so I don't mind spending a bit of glory there. So having more Sigil credits, that's fine. I'm kind of happy with that. Rest of the additions here, I don't think they added much to the things that you can change in your Sigil credits for. They added some new potions and stuff, and they added their own basic cards. This to me looks abysmally bad offer. Like, it genuinely just does. Because there's purchase limit 1. Like, so you can't like cash in any meaningful amounts when you need to. And it's still wildly expensive. It's only like 3,700, so over 1,000 Sigil credits would get you like half of the SN basic. So again, it just kind of seems meaningless. The one thing that they could have added here, and I think they could have reduced the prices of 7-star crystals a little bit and added like 7-star Titan Nexus for like the 700 Sigil credits, because at this pace you kind of effectively have to be collecting your Sigil tokens for like an entire year to get a regular Titan crystal. And again, when it comes to the store themselves, like the stuff that you change in for the Sigil credits, the further the game progresses, the more likely it is that the best investment is just going to be some consumable resources if you're short on them. Like if you're running out of like revives and potions, I think that's a perfectly reasonable place where to, cash in some of your Sigil credits at this point. Because, spending 700 for a Titan crystal, that's not it. You'd be better off spending part of that converting it to items and just completing content in the game, in my opinion. So here we are again. It is again slightly better, but considering that it already had been outdating, the slightly better is not quite good enough to make it exciting, which is probably part of the reason why I didn't make the video earlier, because I was like trying to arrange my thoughts on it. And then looking at everything else, it's neat. There's still obviously significant benefits to having a Sigil, but these stores are kind of like lesser part of it. The only like really good thing in this store is the 7-star signature stones that you can trade in now and then, and like few more like bits and bobs. But the benefit from Sigil comes from these monthly and weekly bundles for most part, and then increased inventory and stuff like that. But when it comes again to making the currency relevant, again, Sigil credits to me are kind of similar to Mysterium, except less and fairly similar, but again, in my opinion, kind of unnecessary, to be honest. And the trading store, again, at no point in the history of this game, the trading store has been particularly exciting, and it still really isn't. Like, they changed the way you get tier 4 alpha, where you can trade in separately and get the fragments, but it's barely any better than it was. And the value of tier 4 alpha has dropped drastically since the Sigil store has increased. So, what's the best way to put it? When this store was introduced, ability to trade in 20 tier 3 alphas for 1 tier 4 alpha was quite exciting, and I took advantage of that. Because we got abundance of tier 3 alphas, tier 6 basics, and Tier 4 Alpha was very, very rare. So I purposely kind of, for weeks, whenever given a chance, chose Tier 3 Alpha selectors and stuff like that, like over Tier 6 Basics, just so I would get 20 extra so I can get Tier 4 Alpha at the end of it and, get closer to a rank 3 champion. Improving like this offer by 10% when the value of Tier 4 Alpha in my eyes has dropped like double or triple in like last 6 months or since they made this update to the Sigil is just not good enough. So the more I think about it, that's exactly the way I see both of the store updates. They're good, they're better, but they're definitely not exciting, and especially when it comes to the Sigil store updates, I feel it's just not quite good enough. But let me know what you think. Maybe I'm mistaken. Either way, would love to hear your thoughts about both of the store updates, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next